Just going to borrow your hand, borrow your arm. Just notice that connection continuing now. That's as your elbow softens, relaxes down. And you can just let that start to travel towards your face now. Only as quickly as your inner mind is ready to make some changes and adjustments that will enable you to release that coin. Hey there, how's it going? This is James Tripp with a video for Hypnosis Without Trance, going out on James Tripp Chaos Wave. The title of this video is Making It Meaningful. It is a video on hypnotic phenomena work. And most specifically, why would we use hypnotic phenomena in a clinical setting? Now, for a variety of reasons, this is a question that I get asked a lot. I was asked very recently, a couple of weeks ago, I was speaking at the National Council for Hypnotherapy in London, and I had 150 hypnotherapists in the room. I'm talking about phenomena work, precision elicitation, precision shaping of hypnotic experiences, and they want to know, how is this useful to us? How does this help people change their circumstances, their situations, their experiences, their problems, all of this kind of thing? It is a very, very valid question, and it is one that has a traditional answer that I'm going to suggest is quite unsatisfactory and sells phenomena work short. So this video is sponsored by the forthcoming workshop, The Clinical Application of Hypnotic Phenomena. It's happening in New York City, 14th and 15th of September at Melissa Teer's Center for Integrative Hypnosis, and we'd love to have you join us. So the traditional answer to this question is that hypnotic phenomena can serve as convincers. So the thinking behind this is, if you do this kind of thing, people go, wow, this hypnosis stuff is really real. So they buy in more profoundly, and therefore you get more leverage in the work. That is not entirely without validity. I do think there are problems under the surface with that. I'm not going to go into them here. I've talked about having an attitude of something to prove and stepping away from convincing and all of this in other places. So I'm not going to get into that here. But I am going to say that I think it really sells short the potential of phenomena work in change work, and let me say why. When I am in the role of change work practitioner, I have a particular bias towards semantics and meaning making, and I've had this discussion with other hypnotherapists before, because a lot of people are very state-based. They want to elicit states, collapse states down, all of that kind of thing. There's a lot of value in that work, but for me, the real power, the real leverage comes from the fact that we human beings are meaning makers. We are sense makers. We bring concepts and narratives to bear upon ourselves and our situations. And it is how we render things up in this way that makes all the difference in terms of experience, choices, how we feel, how we move, how we're motivated, how we engage, all of that stuff. So for me, the real leverage point in change work is working at the meaning making level. In Hypnosis Without Trance, the central model is the hypnotic loop. If you look at the hypnotic loop, which I'm not going to teach here, but if you look at the hypnotic loop, belief is right at the top of the loop. And belief, really, this is the word I used 10 plus years ago when I created the model. And I've often said since, really, this is not just belief, this is understanding, this is sense making, the semantic stuff. Because this is the real engine, so far as I'm concerned, of hypnotic experiences and of our everyday experiences in life. Now, to illustrate this really, really quickly, I'm going to ask you a question. What is the difference between post-traumatic stress and post-traumatic growth? Now, if you look at the difference between these two, the difference appears to be simply one of narrative and sense-making and meaning-making. People who get stuck in post-traumatic experiences have made all sorts of meanings that are disempowering for them and end up perpetuating the issues that are occurring. Those who experience post-traumatic growth have utilized the experience within their own meaning making to create a rich narrative that has enabled them to grow. They are fundamentally telling themselves different stories. And let me come in at a different angle again with this and share an idea from developmental psychologist Robert Kegan. Robert Kegan has pointed out that one of the most profound things any therapist offers is a different language culture to their client. A different language culture. I would say a different conceptual culture. The point here is people live their lives in various reality tunnels. that exist in certain sets of meanings that shape their experience in certain ways. They're perpetuated by friends, family, this kind of thing. When they see a therapist, they get the opportunity to step out and step into a different set of conceptual renderings, a different way of making sense of themselves and their lives. Again, it's this top level on the hypnotic loop, beliefs, understandings, meaning making, all of this kind of thing. So if we start looking at hypnosis as being about helping people make new meaning, re-mean something, make new sense of something, hypnotic phenomena start to become very powerful vehicles for this. Now, as you're watching this, maybe you're a person who has some Ericksonian ideas in the background of what you do or running through what you do. You'll be familiar with the idea of hypnotic metaphor. Erickson used to tell these stories. Why was he telling these stories? He was helping to create different sense, different meaning. But stories are not the only vehicles for new meaning making. Some of the most powerful metaphors can be experiential metaphors, things that happen right now in this moment. And this is the place where hypnotic phenomena can be leveraged. You know, so maybe one of the things that I will classically do is I'll get a card up in someone's hand or a coin or something like that or a pen, and I'll have somebody move the problem into the coin or pen and then try and let it go, try and release it. It's amazing how often that creates a spontaneous stick, because if they really create dissociation, they cannot let go. But they can let go. They're just caught in a hypnotic loop of I cannot let go. There's something to be discovered about themselves and the nature of their experience here, that when they discover it and when they see it vividly, which an experiential demonstration can assist with, things can really rapidly start to shift, old problems can start to unravel, and new tapestries of life can start to weave themselves out of the process. So that's one example. As you just hold that up and just look at the bottom of that coin, know everything that you need to know in this moment about that thing, that if you could just let go of it, it would make a difference for you. Now, you don't need to know everything just as much as your inner mind allows you to know now, but as you look at that coin, I'd like for you to just allow a connection to take place. So it's everything that you know about that thing that will be useful to let go just flows through you and through your arm and all the way into that coin, becoming concentrated, solidifying in that coin. As you look at that coin, everything about that which would be useful to let go concentrates into that coin. And just as soon as that's fully connected, fully flown into that coin, and you can experience that connection, so as that coin becomes that thing that you want to let go of, go ahead and just try and let go of that now. What happens when you try and let go of that now? Just try and let go of that now.
It feels very heavy, but insistent on sticking.
Very heavy, but insistent on sticking. Just going to borrow your hand, borrow your arm. Just notice that connection continuing now. That's as your elbow softens, relaxes down. And you can just let that start to travel towards your face now. Only as quickly as your inner mind is ready to make some changes and adjustments that will enable you to release that coin, so that hand can just start to move towards your face. And you can close your eyes if you wish. That's right. That's right. That's right. So that hand can continue to travel in towards your face. Only as quickly as your inner mind is ready to make some changes. Ooh, it's gone, it's gone, it's gone, it's gone. Now, there's a lot of classic hypnotic phenomena out there. And one of the things that I encourage people to do is start looking at them and asking the question, what could I do with this? What could this mean? If I were to use this as a vehicle for meaning making, what meaning would I want to make? Now, it's going to be different for different practitioners, because every practitioner operates out of their own reality tunnels, their own conceptual sets, their own models, all of this kind of thing. So how you specifically would use hypnotic phenomena is going to depend upon the reality tunnels you are inviting your clients into. I know how I use phenomena, and I know how it fits with the reality tunnels that I operate from, but it might be different for you. Okay, so I'm going to pause this right here. If there are any questions that come up, if you want to continue this particular conversation, make use of that comment section below. If you like this video, if you like the idea of asking, what could this mean? If you like the idea of really making everything that you do hypnotically, whether it be inductions, phenomena, whatever, profoundly meaningful in terms of narratives that assist your client, if you like this idea, do give the video the thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. Hit the notifications bell, that's important too. I'll just say I probably put a slide in here about the New York training, which is all about the clinical application of hypnotic phenomena. If you are able to get to that and you'd love to learn more about this, of course, you're more than welcome to join us. Okay, until we continue this conversation, keep on using your mind to shape your life.